Well, that, Ms. Sandwich, can you call the other items in all together? And let me say while you're reading that, anyone associated with any of the appointments, please start making your way forward to the table, please, and join us.
Clerk file 313585, 313726 through 313418, appointments and reappointments of Michael Negus, Susana Mercado Alvarado, Mindy Au, Visna Adrian Hoy, Riddhi Mukhopadhyay, Kianush Nafesi, Michele Ramirez, Faraya Muhammad, to January 31, 2015, April 30th, 2016, and January 31, 2016. Hey. Oh, Mindy. Thank you so much.
Thank you for your patience. I'll blame it on the auditors and SOCR, but they're still in the room, so I won't do that. Why don't we just start off with, I'll tell you what, we'll do it a little differently today. I always like throwing curveballs. You are all new appointments because Mr. Michael's not here, Nagisi. He's the only reappointment. So why don't we introduce yourself and then tell us a little bit about yourself. You could talk about your culture, what you want to bring to the commission, and why you're interested in serving. And I didn't mean to steal your thunder, but why don't you introduce yourself first? We all know who you are, and then we'll start with our potential commissioners.
My thunder is not being stolen. I'm very, very excited to present all of our future commissioners here at the table. My name is Alia Gupta, and I'm the Director of the Office of Immigrant and Refugee Affairs. And thank you very much, Councilmember Harrell, for moving this process of confirmation through your office so quickly and efficiently so we can get our commissioners started and on board hopefully very soon.
Our pleasure. So if you don't mind introducing yourself, tell us a little bit about yourself and what you like to see on the commission, what kind of work you'd like to do.
My name is Farhiya Mohammed. I work Southwest Youth and Family Services. I am originally from Somalia. I am active with the Somali community, and I would like to see to change to work with the city because I think my community, a lot of the women, they don't know what is refugee and immigrant commissioner do. So I need to bring that my culture in the city and to take what is the city in my community.
Very good, very good. And I'm sorry, can you say your name again so I could?
Farhiya Mohammed.
Number 11, otherwise. Okay. Thank you very, very much. Okay, please.
Good afternoon. My name is Visna Hoy, and I'm very honored to be here. I currently am an individual and family counselor at Southwest Youth and Family Services, and I work a lot with diverse communities, including immigrants and refugees. So I'm very excited and honored to advocate on their behalf. On a personal level, I'm also a daughter of Cambodian immigrants, and I feel very honored as well to represent the voices of my community and the voices of my parents and their struggles. So really happy to be here.
And this would apply to any of you. Are there any unique concerns you think in the Cambodian community or things that you're hearing? What areas, I guess, where can we improve in a city? Is it education, public safety, food? What food policies? Maybe you could share a little bit about some issues that your community may be concerned with.
Thank you. I think most importantly is immigration. It's a very important topic that needs to be addressed within our community. Also, education, namely the achievement gap. Southeast Asians primarily have suffered with high school graduation rates, standardized test scores, and there's been a lot of need for parent engagement that is culturally competent and in their language. So also access to information as well. So I think creating a bridge that this commission has to provide that information from the communities to the city is very important as well.
Thank you, Ms. Hoy.
Thank you. Visna, may I ask you this question? Do you work with our Department of Neighborhoods, or called POELs, our public engagement and outreach liaisons, and maybe that's for all of you, just to know that they exist. The education component that you just talked about with the culturally competent outreach is something so important to us, and I am open to any suggestions you have on how our Department of Neighborhoods can work more closely with this commission and also with you individually. So,
Well, I haven't worked with them specifically, but our organization partners with a lot of government entities and community-based organizations, but I would love to collaborate and share the stories that I've learned as well with that department.
that's great. It's funny that we were just talking, funny isn't the right word, but it's coincidental that just this morning that another committee on government and education was having a conversation about just this morning and recognizing that the achievement gap starts so early. And if our children aren't ready to go to school either through a universal preschool program or having really good, strong kindergarten programs so the kids are ready to be reading at an early age and knowing just how to be in the classroom, that achievement gap just widens and widens. It's almost impossible to bridge. So if we can start early with the families so the families trust and know what is available for them and how we can support them, I think we could really make some positive changes. So thank you. Thanks for your work.
And you're ending your first year in law school, as I understand it?
No,
Nope.
actually, I will be starting law school. The first in my family to graduate, and also the first in my family to earn a master's degree, and I'll be attending law school this summer.
Outstanding.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You're next.
Hi, I'm Michele Ramirez, and I'm very happy to be here today. I am working as an attendance campaign coordinator for the YMCA for the Seattle Public School District. And on a personal level, I am the daughter of an immigrant from Cuba. My father immigrated here as a child. And on a professional level, I spent the last year serving as an AmeriCorps member in South Seattle schools, in high-need, high-minority schools, and I saw firsthand the effects of immigration on children in Seattle. So I'm happy to have the opportunity to represent those children and have their best interests served.
That's great, Michelle.
And Michelle, your involvement with, you described that was the city year work. Now, what was your role in city year again? Can you elaborate just a little bit?
Yes, I was an AmeriCorps member, so I served as a mentor and tutor in South Seattle, West Seattle schools. I worked with a third grade classroom, so as you were speaking to the education gap that starts at a very young age, that's exactly on point, and that's what we serve to kind of bridge that education gap.
Very good. Thank you for continuing to serve. You're a public servant all the way.
Thank you.
Thank you, Michelle.
Hi, my name is Mindy Yao, and thank you for having us here. I am currently at Interim Community Development Association down in International District, and I'm excited for this opportunity mainly because I have a strong policy interest around housing and asset building. And I grew up in Alabama to Chinese immigrants, and so I think that feeling of being displaced is something that's affected kind of my professional and personal choices in life. And so my mom is originally from Burma, though with ethnically Chinese. And so I think kind of that very human narrative for many of us, I think, is something that speaks to me strongly.
And your background suggests you've also worked with East African communities as well, if I'm not mistaken.
I did, as part of my capstone project at the Evans School, I worked with East African Community Services and got to know their programs and provided some recommendations on strengthening their work. So it was good exposure to a community that I am less familiar with.
And you have a degree in chemistry. How does that figure into all this human rights work you're doing here?
Liberal arts college.
Okay.
I was never meant to be a chemist, and you wouldn't want me to be. So even when I was in college, like I was served in kind of a prison service project, going to a prison and working. And so I think I loved the chemistry department, and I loved what they taught me. And one of my favorite professors was like, even if you don't remember how to, derive this formula, you'll be able to teach yourself. And I think that's what it taught me in terms of analytical skills.
Very good. Thank you very much.
Which liberal arts school?
Dartmouth College.
We've heard of that.
Yeah. Thank you. Yes.
Good afternoon. My name is Keanu Schnafasi. I am a full-time immigration attorney. I work for the law offices of Marie Higuera in downtown Seattle. I graduated from the University of Washington School of Law in 2010, and during my time in law school, I worked with immigrant and refugee populations in nonprofit organizations in Seattle and San Francisco, and then after graduation, I moved to DC and worked with the Immigrant Rights Project through Appleseed as well. I am looking forward to continuing my work with immigrant and refugee populations through the Commission. And personally, I myself am an immigrant. I came here with my family after the revolution in 1979 in Iran. And I currently serve as a board member on the Persian Studies Advisory Board through the University of Washington.
Very good. And you've lived in southern China, I understand?
Yes, I moved to China 1 year after, or actually immediately after graduating from college, I moved to China to teach English for 1 year.
Wow. It's fascinating, the diverse cultures, the cross cultures that many of you have. So that's beautiful.
Okay, that's your Chinese.
I used to speak Chinese relatively well, but unfortunately with language, when you don't use it, you lose it. So yeah, that was about 10 years ago, and I haven't had the opportunity to use it very much since.
And you have some experiences in San Francisco, you did, and there was another person that had some San Francisco experiences, and you too. So you guys didn't know that. So you have that San Francisco connection. So very good.
Great.
All right. Please.
Good afternoon. I'm Reedy Mukapade. I currently work as the coordinating attorney at the Sexual Violence Law Center, which is based here in Seattle, working with what I consider some of the more vulnerable immigrants in the immigrant community, sexual assault survivors. In the past, I've worked with immigrant and refugees with mental health and cognitive disabilities, immigrants in deportation proceedings, and individuals facing criminal charges. And similar to everybody else, I have my own immigrant story. I'm a naturalized citizen, originally from India.
Well, a bunch of superstars that are going to join the commission, Lee. I see why you're excited.
I'm very excited.
So, we are here to serve you as a council, and I am very honored that you're willing to serve. You all have vast backgrounds and very educated and experienced people, and even if you don't have a formal education, you certainly have the drive and commitment to change some things for, I think, one of the most valuable segments of our community, which is the immigrant refugee communities. And so it's our honor to serve you. So as you break down on your subgroups and think about the assignments you would want to take, remember we're here to serve you, and we take your policy recommendations very seriously. And we're trying to devote resources, time, and wisdom into these efforts. And so thank you for being willing to serve.
And if I could just add, I'm grateful that all of you are spending your time with us. And if there's anything that my office can do for you, I am a huge believer in women mentoring women. And when I was in law school, there was, I believe, 12 that graduated in my law school class, 12 women. And things have changed a lot. And I'm very respectful that things are changing, but I'm also available to you if there's anything I can do to support you and your organization and the commission. So please just know my office is very willing, and I particularly appreciate what you're doing and the sacrifices that you're making for us.
I'll close by saying this also, in addition to sort of the hard policy work and the real kind of legal work that we do in this area, there's some sort of fun things occurring too. My wife and I attended a Ethiopian restaurant last night. I forget the name of it. It's the one that's, I just know it's near Garfield. It's like 2 blocks from Garfield, my own stopping grounds. And great crowd. And I would say they were all Americans in this Ethiopian restaurant. Well, I'll just say Americans without being too racial here in this liberal city of ours. But my wife thought they were going to be all East Africans in there because she had never been to this, and I eat there all the time. I said no. And so enjoying the food. There wasn't any silverware there because, you know, you're eating the, what do you call the yeah, yeah. And so it was an outstanding experience. And so I said to her, I said, you know, we spend so much time on this real serious stuff, on these policy issues. I said, this is a kind of cross-cultural experience that a lot of people don't know is occurring in our city. So I'm sure you're going to help evangelize these efforts. So I will entertain a motion to approve. Just one moment here.
Can I just add something on there?
Yes, you may.
Talking about having fun and culture, one of the things that we could be doing a better job of is integrating the immigrant and refugee community in Seattle, which is, you know, 1 out of 6, I believe, in population now.
1 out of 5.
1 out of 5 now? Is it that? To better coordinate with some departments, in particular the Office of Arts and Cultural Affairs. They have a number of programs to go out and fund individual artists and also smart art and cultural groups. And I sometimes wonder, I don't believe that they have at all, certainly a filter or even they have a desire to reach out as many people as possible, but I'm not sure necessarily that that particular community is being addressed in an aggressive fashion. So I think that it would be nice to think about some sort of programs we could do to, in particular, promote cultural events, groups, and even artists in that community. Perhaps we, you know, I was just telling my staff, maybe we should start thinking about almost having a pass that people could stamp every time they go to a cultural event. And at the end of the month, we would do in our department as a pilot program, reward them with additional tickets to an event. But this is something that could be done within the immigrant and refugee community of organizations. So this way we could give that kind of support. So just a thought to think about.
And if I can pile on that idea, our Parks Department is looking at having a ballot measure this August. And one of the elements in that is arts in the park. And that is really focused on people who may not have participated in parks. And it's really looking at immigrant and refugees as well to bring in cultural aspects of what people's cultures are that those of us who have lived here for the last 40 years wouldn't know. So to the extent that we could combine what Nick is talking about with his Art in the Park plan, I think it's really going to be money well spent and a really good way to do what Councilmember Harrell was talking about as well, bringing us together in times when we're all not just talking about policy, we're talking about fun and getting to know each other.
And that's right. And actually, the Office of Arts and Culture has reached out to our office. So we are going to be exploring ways that we can all potentially do something fun.
Excellent.
Excellent. So I will entertain a motion to approve clerk file 313585 and 313726, inclusive to 313731, and clerk file 313418. That covers all of the commissioners.
So moved. Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. So I will present this to the full council next Monday. This has been televised, believe it or not. You're permanently in our archives on Channel 21. They could get on the internet and watch it from around the world. And thank you very, very much for agreeing to serve. It's our honor to be with you on this journey together.
Yep. Okay.
And with that, we'll stand
Thank you.
adjourned.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.